Good morning, everybody. Happy Super Friday. Welcome to TCF Live. I'm Dan Soul. I will guide you on a 3-hour journey through Courtlandia. This is episode 350 today. Let's just jump right in at the deep end of the pool. Judge O'Donnell.
Is present open court today with his counsel, Nicole Novotny. Your Honor, here today for sentencing. The defendant was last before Your Honor on June 30th of 2026, where he pled guilty to count 1, grand theft, a felony of the 4th degree, and the lesser included offense of count 3, attempted tampering with evidence, a felony of the 4th degree. At that time, a pre-sentence report and victim impact statement were ordered. The state's understanding the pre-sentence report was completed and provided to the court, as well as documentation regarding the deductible was provided. All parties are prepared to go to sentencing at this time to the state's knowledge. Thank you.
Ms. Novotny.
Yes, Your Honor. With regard to the instant matter that's in front of Your Honor, we'd like the court to consider community control for Mr. Shepard. After having long conversations with Mr. Shepard about what had happened on this incident, he is deeply remorseful, he's embarrassed, and he's ashamed of his actions. He acknowledges that his actions were a terrible choice that could affect not only his livelihood, but also his relationships. Ultimately, around this time, I know he was going through some financial hardship with family, but he doesn't want to make any excuses with regard to his poor choice here. Ultimately, Your Honor, he has no criminal history. He lived a law-abiding life before this incident. He does have 2 children, one with special needs, Your Honor, that requires a lot of medical appointments and special attention to. He is a very active father in his children's lives with that respect. Ultimately, Your Honor, he's been gainfully employed for 7 years. He works for Penske Logistics. He has a CDL license that he uses and maintains for 13 years. With that, Your Honor, I did submit several character letters on his behalf to show his familiar support. I know his fiancée is sitting in the back of the room with him to show support as well. Additionally, Your Honor, on his own, he did complete a theft class. A certificate has been provided to the court as well. Your Honor, we're just asking for any type of leniency with regard to sentencing today. Thank you.
Mr. Shepard, what do you want to tell me before I sentence you?
I'm ashamed of what I did.
Why'd you do it?
There's no excuse for what I did, Your Honor.
I know that, but the question is, why'd you do it?
At the time, it was my financial hardships, being put on child support, and just struggling. They was trying to make a better way.
So what were you supposed to get out of this whole thing?
I'm supposed to get money out of it, but
How much?
there was never no set amount.
When did this plan get hatched?
That week, the 24th or 23rd, the week it happened, my brother had called me about it.
23rd of October?
November.
Wait a minute. This $114,000 in silver bars was stolen on November 11th. 8th, November 8th of 2024.
Oh, that was I don't remember the exact day.
Okay, that's a date.
Okay, I'm sorry, I don't remember the
So
exact day.
how far in advance of November 8th of 2024 was this plan hatched by you and your brother?
It was that week.
That week. And tell me about the planning. Tell me how this whole thing unfolded.
He called me earlier in that week, maybe like a Monday or Tuesday, and he said that, you know, he had a way to make some money. And at first he didn't tell me exactly all it was. And he said, you want to make some money? I said, yeah. Then throughout that week, he had told me, like, he got to put some stuff in play. And I said, okay. And then when he came up with the plan, he told me what we had to do and what I had to do. And
What did he tell you had to do?
he said I had to come up to where he worked at. And he said, come in, it'd be a box on the floor and just grab it. And
Box on the floor where?
inside the warehouse.
Okay.
And he said
What did he tell you was in the box?
he didn't. He didn't.
How
tell
big
me.
was the box?
Maybe 3 feet wide, 3 feet long.
Okay. And what did he tell you were supposed to do with the box?
He just told me to take it to his house. I didn't know what it was until he told me when I opened it. And he told me to take it to his house. And I don't know what he did with it after that.
Okay.
And I asked him, he said, don't worry about it. So I didn't ask no more about it. It was,
All right, fill in the gaps for me, okay? Because you are 30 at this point. When this happened, you were what, 36, 35?
36, sir.
36 when this happened,
Yes.
with no criminal record of any type. Okay. Working as a commercial licensed driver
Yes.
for Penske.
Yes.
Has your brother got a criminal record?
Yes.
How bad of a criminal record does he have?
I know he has DUI, and I know he's been arrested for, if I'm not mistaken, drugs. I'm not too sure on that part, but
Okay.
I know definitely the DUI.
All right, so he's working at Con Selmer, and just out of the blue, a couple days in advance of this, he tells you just to go into the warehouse, get a box, take it to his house, and you're telling me you have no idea what's in that box at the time.
At the time, I did not know what was in the
Okay.
box. I didn't
Why
know.
weren't you more curious, somebody with no criminal involvement ever, why weren't you more curious about what you were getting involved in with somebody you know that has a criminal record? Why?
Normally I would be, I don't know, trying to trust my brother, but it was bad on my part to even do it. I shouldn't have. Like I say, during that time, getting the news, I'd be put on child support and being holidays coming up. There was no excuse for me to do it.
So, but you had no, you guys didn't talk about how much you were going to get out of this and how much he was going to get out of this?
When I asked him about it, he told me he had to see what he'd get for it after I found out what it was.
Okay. But you didn't know what it was when you went in there and tried to load this box into your trunk?
I didn't know what it was, so I opened it and I asked him what it is, and then he told me.
So when the box was too heavy, because there were heavy silver bars in this box, then you called him, right?
We were on the phone.
Right. You were on the phone the entire time?
Yes.
For 9 minutes, right? 9 minutes, trust me.
I don't know the exact time we were on the phone.
All right. Talking about what?
When I went in there, when I got there, he was trying to tell me like what to watch out for. He was telling me like it's gonna be somebody around a tow motor, and that whoever's in it he was working with, he had them stay clear of the area. Then he was like, it was somebody in the lunchroom, but don't worry about that, they on lunch. And he said, just come in, grab it, and go. And then when I took the box out to the car and I couldn't get in, he was like, he told me to go back inside the building, try to find a drill or something. And then I know I had like a screwdriver in my car, and I screwed the box. And
Did you know When you opened the box, did you know what you were looking at?
When I opened the box and seen, that's when I asked him, like, what is this? And that's when he told me what it was.
What did he tell you it was?
He said it was silver.
Silver. How much did you think that was worth?
I didn't know how much it was worth. I really don't. I didn't think to ask how much he thought it was
Now,
worth.
now you know how much it was worth, right?
Yes, not.
How much?
Well, I was selling it 114,000.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Where is it?
I don't know what he did with it. I took it to his house. I don't know who he gave it to. I asked him about it several times. He just told me, don't worry about it.
When did you go to the license bureau and get new plates?
That following week,
Why?
he had told me to do it. He was like,
Okay.
get rid of your plates.
All right. When's the last time you talked to him?
The day before I got arrested.
Which was when?
It was a Wednesday. I think that was the 23rd or 24th of June
Of what year?
this year, 2026.
So you'd been talking to him up until that point?
Since the incident, yes.
Okay. And did you say, where's my money? Where's my cut?
I've asked him several times. He said that the guy that he had been dealing with, he said one time he called him, he said he was out of town. And another time he said he'd call him when he get back. I guess the guy gave him a runaround.
Or at least your brother's telling you the guy gave him a
Yes, my
runaround.
brother's son, yes.
Okay. So if as of June, it appears your brother, if he's being honest with you, which I doubt, but
I doubt because
if he's being honest with you, still had the silver, right?
that he still has it. Yeah. Or he knows who has it.
Right. So how are these people going to get their $100,000 back that was stolen from them?
If I gotta work it off, however, to give it back, I will.
So what do you want from me?
Show me leniency, grace.
Why?
and mercy.
Why am I going to show you? Con Selmer had $114,000 of silver delivered to them to make instruments. And you and your brother just felt like you were entitled to steal it. Now, I think that plant is closed, if I am correct.
That location, yes.
That location is closed.
Oh, I'm not sure.
Well, I'm sure. Okay, I'm sure. Okay, meaning the people that were working there are no longer working there. Now, that may very well be because they're out $114,000 because of you. And listen, I'm having a real hard time believing that you went into this thing without some sort of deal, without some sort of knowledge with your brother. Otherwise, why would somebody who's got a perfectly good job and no record, all of a sudden, what would possess you, somebody with that mindset, to walk into a place, a closed building, right? Was it inside a building or was it outside the building?
Inside, but it was open.
Okay. What? Didn't you? Where do you get the nerve to walk into a building and steal something? Steal a 3x3 box with something in it?
It was stupidity on my
I know it was stupid. Well, but it wasn't. It wasn't stupid. It was thoughtful, is what it was. So you telling me that you were going to get money, this was the plan a week before, you telling me you didn't know what you were stealing, I'm not believing that. I don't believe that.
I understand, but it's the honest truth. I did not know what was in that box until I got there. That's the honest truth.
Okay.
When I opened the box, I asked.
Now, if you were an accomplished thief, then I would believe that, because it doesn't matter what you steal. You steal something, but I don't believe you. I don't believe you have limited knowledge of the plan beforehand, and the fact that you changed out your license plate tells me a lot. Okay, because why would you, other than him when he said change your license plate? Did you say why?
He had to say just in case you got caught on the camera.
Okay,
That's what he said.
and you said what camera, right?
Yeah, I did. He had told me there's a camera outside the building, a camera in the parking lot. He was like, change it just in case they caught it.
Okay. And where do you work?
Penske Logistics.
What do you do?
Deliver tires to Firestones in the Cleveland area
How much do you work?
5 days a week.
How long have you been working there?
For Penske, 7 years.
And you just pissed that all away to get a couple of bucks. If I were you, I'd be pissed at my brother.
I
And
am.
he's got $114,000 and you got zero. And you're standing here and he ain't. So you started to tell me what you wanted to tell me. Go ahead, continue on.
This whole situation has been, I shouldn't have did it in the first place because it's not who I am. I'm not the person who did this.
Well, if it's not who you are, why are you standing here?
Because I made a terrible choice, made an ignorant choice, thinking that it would give me some type of financial gain that didn't. I shouldn't have done it in the first place because it's not me. I'm not no bad person, I'm not no criminal.
Well,
I feel like a failure.
you are a criminal because you stole $114,000 worth of silver. So you've made yourself a criminal.
You're right. I made myself a criminal with my actions. But it was one mistake, and I should have never done it. It doesn't define who I am. I'm not that type of person. I made a terrible mistake in judgment. I should have never,
When did you realize you made a terrible mistake?
the day I did it.
Okay. Then why didn't you, if you're not a criminal and you just made a terrible mistake, why didn't you go to the police?
I don't know. It didn't cross my mind to tell them myself. Maybe I should have, but at the time it didn't cross my mind. But
Maybe had you done that, Con Selmer wouldn't be out $114,000.
Should have done it at all. None of this would have happened. I wouldn't be standing in your courtroom today.
I don't know, somehow $114,000 in silver bars has magically disappeared.
I don't know what he did, who he gave it to.
Well,
All I know, he benefited from it definitely because he was able to start his own landscaping company out of it.
when did he do that?
Earlier last year,
Early in 25?
yes.
So he got rid of it right away, right?
From what he told me, I'm assuming that's what he did. What he told me, he did that for money from working at kind of something, but I believe he did it from the stuff I got from the job.
Did you say, when he opened up his own landscaping business, where's my money?
I asked him several times, like, yo, am I getting anything? All he kept saying, I'm waiting on the dude to get back at me. I'm waiting on the dude to get back at me.
Where do you live?
Richmond Heights, Ohio.
Who do you live with?
My girlfriend, she was with Chisholm.
Who
And my
else?
son, Aiden. And my daughter was with me a few days out the weekend, every other weekend.
Right. What else you want to tell me?
I apologize, Your Honor, for my actions that led me to be here today.
When did you talk to the police?
When I got arrested,
Well, when is the first time you talked to the police?
a cop or a detective called me back in May, and he said he wanted to talk to me, and he said come in or call him when it was convenient for me. That was like the first week of May.
Okay. Then you never called them, right?
I couldn't remember his name or his number. Because when he called me, I was at work. And I figured he'd reach back out to me.
Did he call you on a cell phone?
I don't know where he called me from. I know it was a 440 number. That's all I
Did he
know.
call you on your cell phone?
Oh, yeah, he called me on my cell phone.
So
Yeah.
you knew what the number was.
I can't remember what the number was.
Well, it comes up on your cell phone, doesn't it?
He just came up 440. That's all he came up Ohio. He didn't say nothing like police or nothing like that.
Yeah, but when you talked to him, he told you he was from the police, right?
He said he was.
So you didn't talk to him because you didn't want to talk to him.
No. I really couldn't remember his number.
Okay. If you went to your history, you could have hit the number and it would have rang wherever he called from.
Yeah, but I didn't. So I couldn't remember his number. And I could get a lot of calls. And during that time, too, I was getting calls from.
Did you get concerned when the Eastlake Police called you after a year and a half?
I was always concerned.
Did that alert you to do anything?
A few times I thought about going, turn myself in, and tell them what happened.
But you didn't.
I didn't.
Anything else you want to say?
I apologize, Your Honor, for my actions that led me to be here today. My actions did not define who I am. I'm not the type of person that did what I did back in 2024. I'm a good person. I made a terrible mistake. Family man, take care of my kids and go to work.
But what you call a mistake, I call a conscious decision to take other people's stuff. And the result of that seems to be that the people who work there no longer work there because that place don't exist, in part due to this. So this doesn't affect just you or your girlfriend or your kids. It affects several other people who no longer work there. I don't even think that's dawned on you.
No, I didn't know that it was closed until today, but yes, it dawned on me now what was all affected, yes.
Okay. All right, have a seat. I want to see you too.
Alrighty, friends. Well, it looks like this one's moving to the back room, so I will keep an eye and we'll come back. Good morning once again, everybody. It is TCF Live on a Super Friday. Tim, thank you for gifting a membership. CWS, thank you for gifting a membership. Barbara, thank you for your $5 super chat. And Ashley, celebrating 16 months as a channel member today. Thank you, Ashley. Let's do this. Let's go to Judge Anzalone in Lenawee County, Michigan. And again, I'll keep an eye here on Judge O'Donnell, and we'll come back once they're back in session.
Sentence report, Mr. Monterez, disclose any prior convictions in which there exists any known constitutional defect.
No, Your Honor.
And the probation department has computed the minimum sentencing guidelines to be 0 to 17 months. Do you agree with that computation of guidelines?
I do, Your Honor.
All right, before the court passes sentence, Mr. McCready, is there, or did you agree with all that information too? I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, that's fine. Yes, everything is correct in the PSI.
All right, is there anything, Mr. McCready, you'd like to say on behalf of the people?
Just like the court to follow the agreement that we reached with the defense here. He's already paid $1,500, I think, maybe more now in terms of the restitution. That's going to be like $6,800, I think.
$6,851.60.
Right, and so yeah, that's with the court to adopt that, and then we'd be satisfied.
All right, Mr. Monterez, is there anything you'd like to say on behalf of your client?
Yes, Your Honor. First of all, I'd like to thank the people. It's been a pleasure to work with Mr. McCready, and he and I have been working this case for quite some time. There have been a lot of things to coordinate with law enforcement and between one another, so I'd like to thank him as well. I agree. I think the recommendation is appropriate. We worked very hard to craft this deal, and I'm sure that you can tell from the plea offer and from some of the information that's contained in the report that while Mr. Shelton absolutely bears responsibility and has accepted responsibility via his plea, he was not the only person involved, and he stands willing and ready to assist if other individuals involved are ever arrested or have their own cases pending. So I really just wanted to touch on that because I thought that it was appropriate. When I read the defendant's version of events in this pre-sentence investigation report, and the last sentence said, I was the only one she knew, so she put the blame on me. I had a conversation with Mr. Shelton about that because I know that he accepts responsibility for his role in this case. But I read that and it felt to me like an obfuscation of responsibility. So we had a conversation about that. And I thought that it was important to bring to the court's attention because Mr. Shelton does accept responsibility. He's going to do what he needs to do on probation. He's extremely remorseful for the poor decisions that he made that led to him being involved in this situation. And as I mentioned, through the deal with the people, he stands willing and ready to assist when it's necessary. So other than that, Your Honor, he and his significant other are wonderful people. They have wonderful children. I know that he is a hardworking person and that he's trying to do what he can to take care of and support his family. I'm respectfully asking that this court follow the recommendation and allow Mr. Shelton to show this court that he's up to the challenge.
All right, Mr. Shelton, is there anything you'd like to say on your own behalf?
Yes, I would. I would like to first apologize and take full accountability for everything, that I did. And I am, I am sorry for everything. And I can make a promise that would never happen. That was a bad mistake. I'm a changed guy. I am a hardworking guy. I go to work every day. Well, now that my Achilles torn, I can't work. But yeah, I am a hardworking guy.
Okay. All right. Well, in determining the appropriate sentence in this case, the court has considered the seriousness of the offense, your history, the principle of proportionality, the statutory penalty, the cost of confinement, the sentencing guidelines, the report and recommendation of the probation department, as well as what has been said upon the record at this hearing. The criteria and reasons for the sentence are the nature and gravity of the offense, the discipline appropriate to its commission, deterrence against repetition by you and by others, the potential for reformation, vindication for the law, and protection of society. It is the sentence of the court. You'll be placed on probation for a period of 3 years. I am going to do the full 3 years because there's a substantial amount of money that is in restitution. Understand if you complete everything and pay everything off, they can release you early. During that term of probation, you will obey and comply with all your articles of probation. I'm going to strike the term for alcohol, And I am going to leave the term, though, that you're not to use any illegal controlled substances. Obviously, that doesn't include marijuana because now marijuana is legal in the state of Michigan, and we recently received guidance on that. You must and not to use or possess any illegal controlled substances or illegal drug paraphernalia. Complete any counseling as recommended or any assessments as recommended. Not to use any object as a weapon. You must submit to search of your person and property, including but not limited to your vehicle, your residence, your computer, your phone without need of a warrant, if they have reasonable cause to believe that you have items which have violated the terms of your probation. Restitution is ordered in the amount of $6,851.60 to be paid to TLC Credit Union. There's a crime victim assessment fee in the amount of $130. There is a $30 per month supervision fee, $60 if we have to put you on a tether, which I don't foresee, $750 in court costs, and $68 in state costs. Obviously, you live in Washtenaw County, so they'll do the paperwork to transfer your probation to Washtenaw County. Now, Ms. Holly, will he have to report Tuesday morning between 8 and 10?
Yes, please.
So we need you to come here one more time, Mr. Shelton, because we need you to sign the terms of probation and then also do the paperwork to transfer your probation. What, are you not working right now because of the baby?
Yeah, because I tore my Achilles, so the doctor told me I have 4 weeks. Yeah.
Okay, I thought, never mind. All right, so if you can be here between 8 and 10 on Tuesday morning, Miss Holly will go through that paperwork with you and get that processed. Now, you are going to get in the mail from me 3 copies of your notice of right to appellate review. In that envelope will also be a self-addressed stamped envelope. So I need you to initial and date the 1 copy where it's marked to do so, just to acknowledge you received the paperwork. Then I need you to fold it up, put it in the self-addressed stamped envelope, and mail that back to me. The other 2 copies are for you, and if you wish to appeal your sentence, you would fill out the information on the form and mail it to the address listed on the form within 42 days, okay?
Okay.
All right, Mr. Shelton, I wish you the best of luck and hope you heal, and thank you. Thank you, Mr. Monterez. Thank you, Mr. McCready.
Thank you.
TCF Live on a Super Friday. Tim, thank you for the $2. I very much appreciate that. Let's go back to Judge O'Donnell and finish up that case from earlier.
Thank you, Your Honor. As this court is well aware, November 8th of 2024, defendant went into Conselmar without permission with the knowledge of where to go to get the silver that was taken. That knowledge came from his brother, co-defendant, who was working at Conselmar at that time. So they were able to work together to get the items, know where the item was, get it to the vehicle, and leave. This defendant is the one who came in the vehicle, actually took the items, put them into his car with a struggle since they were over 300 pounds of silver, had to take it off the pallet that it was on to get into the vehicle. The license plate was bent on the vehicle at the time, so the cameras at Conselmar were not able to get the license plate. But law enforcement was able to look at various details on the vehicle, so they were still able to locate it on flock and determine who the vehicle was registered to.
Why was your license plate bent?
He had told me to, Tracy had told me to take it off, and I didn't. And he was like, well, bending. So,
You bent it to avoid detection.
yes.
Okay, go ahead, Ms. Cutts.
The law enforcement continued to try and follow the vehicle's whereabouts on flock. However, it stopped hitting by the license plate. After a period of time, officers checked again the vehicle registration and found out that a license plate had been changed out within days of the theft. It was considered a non-mandatory plate replacement. Officers continued to investigate, determining if the Jason Shepard that the vehicle was registered to worked at Conselmar. That's how they got to the co-defendant Dwayne Shepard, and through flock, through Conselmar's videos, phone records, all of that information they were able to piece together and identify the individuals, because this defendant made sure his face was not seen on the video as well. And then Dwayne Shepard, who was supposed to be in Conselmar, did not cover up who he was in that situation. So the amount of the silver bars or the HSA anoids was $114,353.18. So obviously Conselmar did suffer serious economic harm. Their deductible was $100,000, so they only got back $14,353.18 from their insurance. So they are out $100,000. Obviously this is part of organized criminal activity. Obviously the defendant has confirmed that, as well as our understanding of what occurred was already consistent with that. They clearly did it together. As this court has pointed out, and the state realized as well, in the pre-sentence report, the defendant does call this a horrible mistake, and the state is in agreement that this was not a mistake, that it was a choice, that he did choose to do this. We agree he does not have any known juvenile adjudications or adult convictions. His last traffic offense was in 2016. He also doesn't appear to have any drug and alcohol issues or mental health issues. So this was just a choice made to benefit himself. It is hard for the state to believe as well that he hasn't received any benefit, and that he seems to indicate a lack of certain aspects of knowledge in this case. Based on all of that, prison is consistent. If this court is looking at whether he's amenable to community control, if the court were to find that, we do feel a significant jail time sentence would be appropriate. If he isn't sent to prison, he has 5 days credit. If he is given that opportunity, we would ask for a decision point, community service hours, no drug and alcohol, screens, the restitution of the $100,000 to Conselmar Inc. Even though that location is not open, the company is still in existence, and no contact with Conselmar, as well as his brother, co-defendant Dwayne Shepard, costs. The remaining counts would also be dismissed. Thank you, Your Honor.
This wasn't a mistake. If it were a mistake, at some point when you went to Conselmar, at the very least, when you tried to put that box in your trunk and you couldn't do it, and you had to take the top off and then load the silver bars into your trunk one by one. If it were a mistake, you'd abandon that and gotten the hell out of there. If it were a mistake. It wasn't a mistake. It was a thoughtful, conscious decision that you made with your brother a week in advance of November 8th to steal that silver. And you can tell me all you want that you didn't know what it was or how much it was or what the deal was going to be. But if you went into it, you want me to believe you went into it on those terms, and I don't believe that. Okay? If it were a mistake, and you realize it was a mistake after you loaded it up, after you had bent your license plate to avoid detection, after you attempted to avoid having your face detected on the camera, certainly when you got to your brother's house, was he there?
No, he was not, Your Honor.
Where did you put the silver?
He told me to put it in his basement.
In his basement. So you went in. How many trips to the basement did you make to unload this silver from your car to the basement?
3 or 4 trips. He was right by the back door.
Huh?
3 to 4 trips right by the back door of his house.
How many bars were there?
I don't remember the count how many it was.
Okay. If it were a mistake, you wouldn't have loaded that into the basement. If it were a mistake, we wouldn't be sitting here a year and a half after before your arrest. If it were a mistake, you wouldn't have ignored the detective's call you would have called him back like you said you were. Okay. So this isn't a year and a half of mistakes. This is a conscious decision and effort to steal $114,000 in silver. That's what it is. You can characterize it as a mistake, but your decision had a devastating effect on this business and the people that worked at that business. I don't know that any of that's dawned on you because you're in the mode of feeling sorry for yourself because of what you face. That's where you're at.
I'm sorry, Coach. I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
It's not that I'm feeling sorry for myself. I fully understand what happened and what I did, and saying mistake is wrong choice or right. It was a choice, but I honestly, through this whole thing, when it happened, I honestly did not know what it was in that box until I opened it up. I didn't know.
And you should have said, holy shit, what have I gotten myself into? Right?
I did ask what it was. And when I seen it, I was like, what is this? And he told me, and he was like, you good, bro, just go. It was a stupid choice.
All right, I've reviewed the pre-sentence report and the letters that were provided. And I have listened to what you said, listened to what counsel has said, considered all the provisions of 29, 29, 11, 12, and 13. And with those statutes, there's various things at work as to what the penalty should be. So I've fully taken that into account. And I'm going to place you on community control for 5 years. You're going to serve 180 days in jail with credit for 5. Consider yourself lucky that it's not 18 months in prison with credit for 5. No drugs or alcohol with screens. Restitution to Con Selmer in the amount of $100,000. No contact with Con Selmer. No contact with Dwayne Shepard. Complete the decision points program and follow all recommendations. And pay the costs and supervision fees. Mr. Clement, any other terms? You understand the terms?
Keep it. Can you repeat? I'm sorry.
Do you okay. 180 days of credit for 5. You cannot have drugs or alcohol and you'll be screened. You will pay restitution to Con Selmer in the amount of $100,000. You'll have no contact with Con Selmer or your brother. You will complete the decision points program and you'll pay the costs and supervision fees for your probation. Do you understand those terms? If you violate those terms, the state will file a motion to terminate your community control. If I find you violated, then I'll send you to prison for 18 months. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Is there anything else, Ms. Cutts?
Yes, Your Honor. Is the community control concurrent on both counts?
Yes.
And are the remaining counts dismissed?
Yes. Ms. Novotny, anything else?
Nothing further, Your Honor.
Oh, Your Honor, I apologize. You said if he violates 18 months in prison, there are 2 counts, both are 18
30
months.
months in prison.
36
Through
months?
2 4s?
Correct.
36 months. 36 months is the exposure if you violate.
All right.
Alrighty, friends, good morning once again. It is TCF Live on a